clean up the clutter that's in your office. I've talked about how grab a bunch of garbage bags and just like clear the house, like really clear the house, right? So today I want to talk about is, how do you set up your environment, both your mental environment and your physical environment for success, right? When we talk about, coming into the office, does that office, whether it is at home or at an office, does it scream success at you? Is it an environment? Well, someone keeps sharing their screen with me. Let's stop that, please. All right. Does that environment scream a success for you? Are you coming in there so excited? I can't wait. Let's start the day. Let's go, 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 go. Or is it more like, not really the environment that screams success for you? So I'm going to share with you a couple of things. I'm going to talk about both your mental environment and your physical environment. But let's start with the physical environment, right? What are certain things that you can have in your environment that will help you with the success, that will push you towards success? So one of the things that we want to make sure we have in your environment are your goals. Are they posted up on the wall? Do you have your goals? Now, we know we talk about the business plan, the goals for the overall year, but I'm going to challenge you to have, your milestone goal of the quarter. Like, for example, the first quarter of the year. What are your goals for the first quarter of the year? How many transactions do you want to do? How many appointments do you want to be on, right? How many listings do you want to pick up for the first quarter? Now, with that, I'm going to recommend that you have some sort of reward, right? The reward is extremely powerful, right? Having a reward for achieving your goal for the quarter. This is what we find. See, the first quarter is probably the most important quarter to getting you on track, right? You know that the theme for the fourth quarter is the push. And we came up with the January list. It's to push you. There's tons of distractions going on right now, right? So I want to push, 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 push. Look at all of you guys. Look at this. It's amazing. Right? Here we are, December the 22nd, and you're on at 7:30 for William. It's 4:30, right? Who else is in the West Coast here? Shannon, right? You're talking about 4:30 in the morning, and you guys are here. That's amazing, right? So push yourself, right? That's the theme for the fourth quarter. However, write this down. The theme for the first quarter will be getting on track. Getting on track. That's our theme for the first quarter. Now, this is what I know. I've been coaching for 12 years. And I know that the agents that hit their milestone goal, right? March 31st, whatever that goal is. For example, if your goal is to do 20 transactions in 2022, that means you're putting together 5 deals by March 31st. That should be your milestone goal. It's just a quarter of what it is that you want to achieve for the year. Now, those agents, listen to me really clear here. Those agents that hit their milestone goal by March 31st have an 85% chance of achieving their overall yearly goal, right? So hitting your goal for the first quarter gives you that chance, 85%. It's a pretty good chance of hitting your goal for the overall for the year. Now, on the flip side, those agents that don't hit their milestone goal in the first quarter, the likelihood of them hitting their overall goal for the year drops down to 20%. That's a massive decline. So let's get on track. That's why we have the January list. That's where we're pushing hard, working on our first quarter review. So here's the thing. What's going to push you? What's that carrot that's going to say, hey, if I achieve my goal for the first quarter, what's that reward you're going to give yourself, right? I find that this being a really powerful tool. So on your wall, in your environment, have that reward. I'll give you a great example, right? The iPad. When it first came out about 12 years ago, I think it was 2010, 2009 when it came out, I wanted one. But how do I justify spending $1,000 on something that I had no idea what it did? Like at the time, I had no idea what it's going to do for me, right? But I wanted one. So I went to my wife, I'm going to get an iPad. And she's like, spend $1,000 on a toy? Like, really? Right? So the goal, my wife said, hey, listen, you hit your first quarter goal, it's all yours. So my first quarter goal was 12 transactions. I did 12 transactions. I get that iPad. So I'm excited, have it on my wall, and I'm working my ass off. I fall short. I did 10 deals. I made like about 100 grand that first quarter, but I didn't hit my goal. So does that justify me buying this? I made 100 grand. Nope, couldn't hit it, didn't do it. So I don't get it, right? So then the second quarter, same goal. It's still up on my wall. I still want that dumb iPad, right? Had to do the 12 transactions. I ended up with 18 transactions in the second quarter, made like 200 grand, and I got myself an iPad. Still have no idea what it does, right? Honestly, it just holds my calendar. That's all it really does. But I made $300,000, got myself a reward. What's that for you? What's that reward for you, right? So it could, pick something, $500 to $1,000. You'd be surprised how we would work our asses off for that little reward that you wouldn't necessarily buy for yourself. And it could be, a pair of shoes, a new watch, could be golf clubs, weekend at the spa. I don't care. Put it up on your wall. Get yourself pumped up for it, right? What else should be on your wall? Your scripts and dialogues. That's right. Your scripts and dialogues should be on your wall. If it's not, why not? How do you know what to say to the clients? So what are the scripts and dialogues you should put up on your wall? Your prospecting scripts. The past clients that influence database script, that should be up there, right? And whatever other lead sources that you work. It could be, circle prospecting as an example. If you're your online leads that come in, right? So what do you say to them? By having them up on the wall. And I know you know the scripts. I know you know them. But there are times in the conversation where the client's taking you one way and then the other way. And it's like, I want to hone them in. So you kind of look up and say, oh, that's the next question. Boom, pop it in, right? So we want to make sure we have prospecting scripts, maybe lead follow-up scripts, maybe your qualifying script once you set an appointment. And you know what? How about some closes? What are those clever closes that you use? What we find is it takes about 6 to 8 attempts during the conversation to close that appointment, that person for an appointment. Are you giving up after asking once for the appointment? Should you have some clever closes that you can use to kind of maneuver yourself into that appointment, right? So scripts and dialogues up on your wall will be the next thing. What else do we need? We need to stand up. Let's be honest. When you're making your prospecting calls, you should have a desk, either an apparatus that you put on top of your desk where you can stand up, because energy sells. And if you're sitting down with a handheld and trying to have a conversation, it's not as energetic as it is when you stand up and use your body language. Remember this, over the phone, you're only using one of your 5 senses. So we really need to heighten that experience to the client. If you don't want to sound like a telemarketer, right? You need to stand up. You need to be powerful. You need to have that energy. Use your body in the conversation. Okay. Number 3, and things you need for your environment would be a headset. That's right, a headset. I'm going to go as far as saying a headset and a landline. Right? Stop using your phone to make your prospecting calls. Invest the $20 that it costs you for a landline in your office and have a headset, right? Again, noise canceling headset would be powerful, right? You want to make sure that you're controlling the conversation, right? So that they don't hear what's going on around you. So noise canceling headset. What else should we have in our environments? Well, would you agree that making your calls, the hours of power, it's kind of boring. Times it's like the repetition is boring. It sort of sucks. I'm not going to lie, right? Anyone that tells you that they love prospecting is full of crap, right? Because it is boring, especially if you're spending a couple hours a day trying to connect with people. So how do you spice it up? Well, folks, you got to play some music. You got to get stuff in the background that gets you going. You got to get that energy going, baby. Now, on our coaching calls, I obviously do not have music in the background because I have an open mic. However, if you're making your calls and you have noise canceling headphones, having music in the background to kind of pump you up, get you going, that would be key to the environment for success, right? What else do we need in our environment for success? We need to celebrate the wins. Exactly. We need to celebrate the wins. So what do you have in your office that when you set that appointment, when you set that listing appointment, right? Whatever it may be, I don't care what it is, have something to help you celebrate the win. Now, I use a bell and it drives my wife crazy whenever I set a listing appointment because I'm like ringing that bell like crazy, right? So what do you do to celebrate the win? Right? If you go to Staples, they got this little button called the easy button. Sure, that's boring, right? I saw a really cool one. It's called the pump me up button. So what it does is it actually plays music for 30 seconds, like some techno, some dance music comes on for like 30 seconds. Something. You need a win, right? So we're celebrating the win. What else do we need in our environment? What do you think? Now we're going to get into the mental prep of things, right? So key element in your mental prep is affirmations, positive affirmations, having something to turn to when you're down. We're like, hey, you know what? This is tough, right? And you know what? That's an affirmation. When you say to yourself, this is difficult, this is tough, I don't know if I can do this, that's an affirmation. So might as well get some positive affirmation, some material that you've read over the years that resonates with you. And I've put them together in a little kind of booklet for myself because there are times where I'm like, you know, I really need to get myself in the right frame of mind. Boom, have some affirmations, have something. I really, really, really would recommend having a gratitude journal, right? Taking the time to write out every single day, you know, the 8 to 10 things that you are grateful for in this world, right? Having something like that would be extremely powerful. Remember, your environment doesn't stop at your physical. It really is what you put up here, right? What are you saying to yourself? What are you listening to? What are those podcasts you're listening to? What are those YouTube videos that you're watching? What are you doing? Those 5 or 10 or 15 or even 30 minutes before you get going and make your prospecting calls, before you get going and have conversations with people. What are you saying to yourself? So when looking at your mental environment, set yourself up for success. And I don't care if it's, you know, listening to some great music, watching a podcast, reading something motivational. But I'm going to tell you one thing. One of the most powerful exercises you can do is visualization. Before you pick up the phone and call someone, you visualize that perfect outcome. You get clear in your mind what it is that you want. You have a clear understanding that the reason I'm picking up that phone is because of this. And what is this? What is this that you're looking for? If it's just to complete your calls, that's what you get. If it's to pick up a buyer lead or a seller lead, that's what you get. If it's to get an appointment, that's what you get. If it's to get a qualified listing appointment where you know the client's motivation, price point on the home, what they think their house is worth, that's what you get. So remember that whatever you decide to get is what you get. So why not visualize the perfect outcome? You know, close your eyes, see yourself dialing the phone, asking the questions on the script, setting that listing appointment, then qualifying that appointment, asking the where, when, and why, getting the motivation, finding out if all the decision makers will be present, you know, getting a clear understanding of what price they think their home is worth, finding out what objections will they be giving you, what questions and concerns do they have, knowing that ahead of time. You visualize putting together the CMA and the listing package. Then you're driving to their home. You're knocking on their door, shaking their hand, walking through the house. You visualize sitting at the kitchen table and doing a great listing presentation. Have them sign the listing agreement at your price and at your commission rate. Then you're going outside, you're putting a for sale sign on that lawn, putting a sold rider in the for sale sign, and then you're driving away with a $15,000 paycheck. Can you see that happening? See, that's how you program your brain. See, 90% of the time we're walking through life an autopilot. It's our subconscious mind or unconscious mind that's, doing the thing, right? What you're going to do by taking this 3, 4, 5-minute visualization exercise, you start to program that subconscious mind, that unconscious mind, using your conscious mind. And you're saying to it, hey, when I pick up the phone, baby, I get a paycheck. That's what you're telling yourself. See, that is how we get our mental environment ready to be successful. All right. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, hallucinations regarding what I just said? No, we all good? Hey, how about this? Open mic. You guys can ask me any questions. All right. How about that? All right. So if that's the case, then please, please, please unmute yourselves. Unmute. This is my favorite part of the day. You guys ready? What day is today?
Money making day.
Oh shit, you guys got no energy today. What happened, man? Come on, let's do it again. Deal with some energy, baby. Some power. What day is today, baby?
Money making day, baby.
Money making day.
It is a money making day. If you're on this call, it's a money making day for you. You guys are awesome. And I'll talk to all of you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to play a video and have a powerful day. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danny.